You already know this, even if no one has said it to you straight. She reads your body before she ever hears your voice. Your posture speaks, your eyes speak, the pace of your movements speaks. And whether you intend it or not, your body is telling a story about your value, your self-control, your certainty, and your intentions. If she loses interest before you've said a single word, it isn't because you didn't have the perfect line. It's because the script your body performed was weak, frantic, or invisible. The moment you understand that attraction is decided in the space between words, you stop chasing approval with sentences and start shaping desire with presence. That's what we're doing here. I'm going to show you how to make her fall for you using only your body language. Not tricks, not fake confidence, but a disciplined command of the nonverbal signals that trigger trust, curiosity, and feminine investment. If what you've heard so far is shifting how you see yourself, stay with me until the end, because we're just getting started. Start with gravity. Your body either looks like it's being pulled up by anxiety or anchored down by certainty. When a man's center of gravity sits high, shoulders lifted, ribcage inflated, head poking forward, he looks like he's bracing for impact, seeking approval, asking the room for permission to exist. When your center sits low, shoulders resting heavy, ribcage relaxed, head stacked over a long spine, you broadcast calm command. Think of it as dropping your weight down through your hips and into the floor, not collapsing, not slouching, but settling. This is the first seduction, not of her, of your nervous system. When your weight sits low, your movements slow, your breathing deepens, and your gaze steadies. Those are primal signals. They tell her you're safe to be near and strong enough to lead. Now align the architecture. Your spine is the mast that carries your signal across the room. Imagine a line from the crown of your head through the middle of your ears, down the neck, stacked over your heart, navel, and pelvis. Lengthen it, but don't stiffen it. Stiff reads as brittle. Lengthened reads as capable. Let your shoulders fall back and apart as if your shoulder blades were sliding into your back pockets. This isn't puffing your chest. Puffing is theatrical and needy. This is setting the frame so your heart faces the world instead of hiding behind rounded shoulders. A heart-forward stance says, you're open, not guarded. Women aren't magnetized by a shield. They're magnetized by a man who doesn't require one. Control the pace. Any nervous system can rush. Only a trained nervous system can slow down. Slow is not lazy. Slow is deliberate. The simplest way to slow down is to create a half-second gap before you do anything. Before you take a step, half second. Before you turn your head, half second. Before you reach for a glass, half second. That moment is where your power concentrates. You're telling the room, I am not being pulled by the environment. I'm choosing my next move. She won't perceive the half second consciously. She'll feel it as a field around you. Rushed movements spray neediness. Deliberate movements collect intrigue. Bring your feet into the story. Most men forget that attraction starts from the ground up. Stand with your feet about shoulder width apart, parallel, with the inner edges of your feet subtly rooted. Keep a slight bend in your knees to avoid the locked knee statue vibe. If you're seated, plant your feet firmly with your knees open rather than pinched together. Everything you do with your upper body collapses when your lower body looks anxious. A stable base tells her subconscious you're physically and emotionally grounded. An unstable base tells her you're ready to flee. Let your hands become quiet. Fidgeting bleeds status. Hands in constant motion read as self-soothing. Instead, position your hands where they can rest in natural, masculine stillness. If you're standing, let one hand thumb hook lightly in a pocket with the rest of the hand outside, or lightly rest both hands at your sides with a relaxed bend. If you're seated, rest your forearms on your thighs, palms loosely down, or interlace your fingers gently in your lap. The mantra is economy of motion. When your hands finally do move, they'll carry weight. A simple palm-up gesture while you speak, a slow single finger point to emphasize a word, or a controlled pickup of an object can hold more charge than an entire paragraph of animated flailing. Master the angle. Face-to-face at full frontal alignment can feel confrontational or overeager. Face turned entirely away reads as disinterest. The sweet spot is a subtle angle, about 45 degrees. Your torso not perfectly squared to her, your feet slightly offset, head turned toward her with ease. This does two things. It reduces pressure and invites pursuit. You're open enough to be engaged, angled enough to signal that you're not trapped. When she wants more, she will close the angle toward you. Let her. Use space as an instrument. Crowding telegraphs need. Excess distance can signal fear. Own your bubble with a relaxed, spacious stance. If you need to adjust distance, do it slowly. Step in by half steps, step out by half steps. Most men shift by big jumps, which startles the nervous system in front of them. Subtle distance changes let her regulate comfort without thinking. If she leans in, reward that with a slight turn of your torso and a micro step inward. If she leans back, relax your shoulders and let half a step open. You're not chasing, you're calibrating, attuned to comfort while maintaining your anchor. That calibration, felt but not discussed, builds trust. Train your breath. The breath is the remote control for your facial expressions, your voice tone if you eventually speak, and your micro movements now. Breathe low into your diaphragm, with a slow 4-count in, brief 1-count hold, 5-count out. Do not exaggerate it visibly. Let the outward sign be a calm abdomen and an unhurried blink rate. A lower blink rate conveys composure. Panic blinks are rapid and frequent. When you slow your blink rhythm, you look like a man who doesn't need to rush to get what he wants. Command the eyes. Eye contact is neither staring nor avoiding. It's a rhythm. Look, hold, release. Use a 3-beat rule. Catch her eyes briefly, hold just long enough to register that you see her, not through her, not at her, but see her. Then release first with a micro smile that belongs to you, not to her approval. The release tells her you're not attached to the outcome. The micro smile tells her you enjoyed the moment. When you reconnect, hold again for a little longer. Let your eyes soften around the edges. Hard eyes look predatory. Soft eyes with steady focus look confident. If you want to escalate non-verbally, shift your gaze occasionally along a subtle triangle, eyes to lips to eyes. Do it sparingly, and only when the energy between you has warmed. Overuse makes it theatrical. Properly timed, it is electric. Refine your facial stillness. Men leak insecurity through facial micro-tensions, jaw clenches, lip licking, nose scrunches, tight smiles that don't reach the eyes. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Let your jaw hang naturally with a hint of weight, and allow the corners of your lips to rest. When you do smile, smile slowly. A slow build smile is felt as authentic certainty. A sudden, wide grin reads as a bid for approval. Remember, your face is not a billboard. It's a landscape. Let the expressions roll through like weather, not like flashing neon. Calibrate your nods. Excess nodding is the body language of pleasing. Short, frequent nods say, "Do you like me? Do you like me now?" Replace that with rare, deliberate nods. When she speaks, hold a neutral stillness. When she lands a point that you want to reinforce, give a single slow nod. It tells her you're listening, but you're not seeking permission. The shift is subtle but dramatic. She will often start investing more words, more energy to earn your nod. That's pursuit, initiated by stillness. Establish territorial ease with your objects. The way you handle your phone, your glass, your jacket, your bag, all of it announces how you handle the world. Don't clutch. Don't baby your items. Rest them with care, then forget them. If you're wearing a jacket, drape it cleanly over the back of a chair with one smooth motion. If you're holding a glass, hold it low and relaxed, not high and defensive near your face. If you have a phone, put it away completely rather than parking it face up like a nervous talisman. These signals say you're not using props as shields. You are the shield. Use stillness as punctuation. In a noisy environment, men compete with volume and speed. You will compete with silence. Stillness makes everything around you orbit. When you enter a space, take a moment to survey before stepping further. If someone approaches, receive them with a pause rather than a scramble. If your attention is called, turn your head first, then your torso, then your feet. 1, 2, 3. That sequencing communicates control. She'll feel it before she understands it. Now consider the walk. Stride is biography. A cramped, fast walk tells a story of urgency and insecurity. A dragging, heavy walk tells a story of defeat. Your stride should be unhurried, hip-driven, with a subtle rolling transfer of weight from heel to forefoot. Knees soft, arms relaxed and pendulous at your sides. Aim for fewer steps rather than more. Cover the same distance with longer, controlled strides. Lift through the crown of your head as if lengthening the spine, but keep your weight settling down, up and down at once. That paradox creates a panther-like glide, alive, contained, ready. Respect touch as a permission-based language. While your focus here is body language without words, consent doesn't disappear. If touch is appropriate in your environment, formal greeting, social introduction, or mutual proximity, you use it as a test of polarity, not a performance. A handshake. Slow in, firm but not crushing. One pump, release. Palm slightly warm. Wrist aligned. Elbow close to your torso to avoid overextension. If she initiates a light touch on your forearm or shoulder, receive it without flinching and let it land for a beat before resuming stillness. If you're crossing a busy passage and need to guide, you don't grab. You gesture with an open palm, a subtle leading motion, and move first so she chooses to follow. You're giving space for her, yes. That space is seductive. Regulate the micro-distance of the face. When you're talking with her and the energy is building, you might notice her head tilt, her chin dip, her pupils dilate. Don't rush in. Instead, decrease the distance by a fraction. Move a centimeter closer, then hold. The hold is the seduction. It loads the moment with meaning. If she closes the gap, reward it with a slower blink and a softer gaze. If she maintains the distance, you maintain yours. You're not hooked, you're reading. That reading is leadership. Deploy asymmetry. Everything perfectly symmetrical can read as rigid. Let one shoulder sit slightly more forward, one eyebrow lift a touch more when amused, one corner of your mouth curve before the other when you smile. Asymmetry signals ease. Ease signals, I do not need to look perfect to be powerful. The paradox of attraction is that polished perfection often repels. Embodied, imperfect ease attracts. Pay attention to your exits and entrances. The moment you arrive and the moment you leave are the bookends of her memory. When you enter, pause at the threshold for a heartbeat. Breathe. Let your eyes adjust across the room. Then move with that panther stride, shoulders relaxed, chin parallel to the ground. When you leave, don't disappear like a draft. Establish the departure with a final moment of eye contact, a slow nod, or a small palm up after you gesture if others are moving around you. Endings write the last page. The last page keeps getting reread. When you stand beside her, stack your posture without crowding her view of the room. Shoulder to shoulder with a slight angle inward, feet planted, arms relaxed. Avoid pinning her against an object or wall. That compresses her nervous system. Instead, adopt micro-leading. If you shift weight to your right foot, see if she mirrors. If she does, escalate with a slow turn of your torso toward her. If she doesn't, you delay. Micro-leading and mirroring are a dance of permission. Lead small, read fast, escalate slow. Use contrasts to sharpen your signal. Combine stillness with warmth. Hold a firm posture, then soften the gaze. Stand rooted, then offer a relaxed smile. Speak rarely, but when you do, pair it with a palm-up gesture that conveys openness. These contrasts create depth. One-note men bore the nervous system. Dimensional men hypnotize it. Let your presence manage interruptions. In social spaces, people cut through conversations. Don't jerk your attention to every movement. Maintain your frame. Adjust only what's necessary. If someone bumps your shoulder lightly, don't overreact. A quick glance, a micro smile, then return your focus. Your lack of reactivity tells her you're not easily pulled off center. Women feel safer and more drawn to a man who can hold a frame in a dynamic environment. Practice environmental claiming. Without saying a word, you can claim a space and make it feel like your arena. Choose a spot with line of sight and back support if seated. Adjust your chair a few degrees to give yourself that 45-degree angle into the room. If you set down an item, place it neatly at your 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock, never scattered, signaling order and control. If you stand, avoid doorways and thoroughfares. Choose a position that others flow around. The space will treat you as a landmark. She will feel that and label you subconsciously as the reference point. Train the micro-freeze. This is the split-second stop you insert right before an impulse wins. You feel the urge to break eye contact, you freeze for a fraction, then you release by choice. You feel the urge to fill the silence with movement, you freeze for a fraction, then you choose a smaller movement instead. The micro-freeze is the gym where your nonverbal discipline gets built. A man who controls micro moments controls macro impressions. Set your baseline expression to rested intensity. Rested intensity is the look of a man present to himself and to the room. The jaw unclenched, the forehead smooth, eyes alert but not hard, lips at a neutral or slight curve. If you're listening, let your eyebrows lift just a touch at the start of her sentence, then settle. That subtle lift signals engagement without supplication. If you find yourself drifting into a blank stare, reset with a single low breath and a slow blink. That blink is a small reset button that returns you to presence. Mind the distance of your gestures. Big gestures feel like you're trying to occupy space you don't believe you deserve. Tiny gestures feel cramped and anxious. Your sweet spot is shoulder width. If you emphasize a point, let your hand travel no higher than your chest and no wider than your shoulders. If you disagree, don't wag a finger. Tilt your head, hold, and let your eyes narrow a hair. Then, if needed, a small palm-down press cues boundaries without aggression. When you agree, a light palm-up reveal feels like you're offering rather than enforcing. Use your shoulder line as a compass. When engaged, allow your chest to face her while your feet remain slightly offset. When you want to initiate movement, roll one shoulder forward half an inch and see if she aligns. If she aligns, you lead a slow step. If not, keep the conversation where it is. This makes transitions seamless. Bar to patio, entryway to table, standing to sitting. Your body pre-communicates the invitation. She follows or doesn't, and everything stays fluid. Practice the slow turn. If you want to focus on her, don't snap your head. Turn first with your eyes, then your nose, then your shoulders, then your hips. That half-second sequencing reads as intent, not twitch. It is a silent compliment. You have my attention and I'm not giving it away cheaply. The opposite, a sudden darting turn, telegraphs hunger. Attraction doesn't bloom under hunger. It blooms under choice. Let the room do some of the speaking. Position yourself where natural light can fall across your face from the side, not from behind. Side light throws micro-contrasts that make your expressions more readable. If there's music, let your foot or finger catch the rhythm subtly. Rhythm signals embodied ease. Chaos in your movements, offbeat gestures, and jittery shifts signal you're not synced with the environment. People are drawn to those who harmonize with the space. Learn the reset stance. When energy spikes, someone interrupts, a glass drops, a comment lands weird. Reset. Feet shoulder width. Knees soft. Pelvis stacked. Chest open. Shoulders heavy. Head level. Breath low. Hands still. Blink once. That's your home position. Return there and the room returns with you. She'll notice that you don't get tossed around by spikes. That steadiness is valuable. It's rare. Respect timing as a form of body language. Waiting on an elevator, reaching a door, meeting eyes across a room. Each of these is an opportunity to choose when to move. If you reach a doorway at the same time as her, don't rush to blast through or hesitate awkwardly. Plant, open with an unhurried motion, gesture palm up, and let her pass first with a slight head tilt that says, "After you," without submission. When the elevator opens, don't bolt in. Half-second pause, then enter with a smooth step. When the doors close, keep your gaze neutral forward or to the side, not glued to the floor or frantically checking reflections. You're not performing, you're leading through tempo. Become fluent in micro-rewards. When she enters your space with warmth, leans in, touches your forearm lightly, mirrors your stance, reward with a subtle increase in your attention. Hold eye contact a beat longer. Let a slow smile appear. Angle your torso 1 degree more toward her. When she tests you, interrupts your space, teases to see if you wobble, reward composure. Relaxed exhale. High energy spaces, drop your intensity a notch so you become the calm center. In quiet, low energy spaces, lift your vitality subtly so you become the pulse. You're not mimicking, you're counterbalancing. The nervous system is drawn to equilibrium. If your body provides it, you become the anchor. Develop the habit of clean initiations. If you must initiate a moment, passing by, gesturing someone to move, indicating a change, start with a clear, single motion rather than a cluster of half moves. One step, one turn, one gesture, then stillness. Messy initiations read as uncertainty. Clean initiations read as leadership. Guard against costume confidence. Wearing the right jacket or watch means nothing if your body telegraphs insecurity. Style can amplify presence only if presence exists first. Start naked of theatrics, spine, breath, feet, gaze. Build from there. If you add a blazer, let it hang on a frame that's already dignified. If you add accessories, let them feel like they belong to a man who could take them off and remain the same. Remember that attention is currency. Spend it intentionally. When the room's energy spikes around a loud voice or a sudden spectacle, don't donate your gaze like a reflex. Keep it until you decide it's worth spending. Then, if you look once, look well, and return. That single act tells her you control what you value. Work on the relationship between your chest and your chin. A lifted chin with a collapsed chest reads as arrogant insecurity. A proud chest with a level chin reads as grounded confidence. Keep the chin parallel to the ground. Keep the chest open but not pushed. The lines of your neck should be long, not strained. She reads those lines unconsciously. Long lines say breath, breath says safety, safety opens attraction. Use door frames as training partners. Every time you walk through one, check alignment. Lengthen the spine, drop the shoulders, soften the eyes, slow the step, half-second pause. These repetitions build a reflex. Eventually, you enter every space as the man who belongs there. If you choose to sit, sit like a man who leads. Take the seat with back support and view of the room. Sit back rather than perching at the edge. Feet stable, knees open but not sprawled. One ankle may be resting lightly on the opposite knee when the energy is fully comfortable, but never immediately. Your forearms can rest on your thighs or on the armrests with relaxed wrists. When you stand from sitting, don't launch forward. Slide your feet back slightly, hinge at the hips, stand smoothly. Reset breath. Standing is a declaration. Make it clean. Now refine nonverbal teasing. You're not joking with words, you're playing with micro-expressions. When she says something clever, let one eyebrow lift with a closed lip smile. When she offers something bold, give a small head tilt and a narrowed eye amused look that says, interesting. When she challenges you, let your eyes hold for one beat, then soften with a slow exhale. This is play without words. It creates polarity without conflict. Use the environment to demonstrate discernment. If you adjust the lighting, do it slowly and smoothly. If you move in a crowded space, weave through with awareness, shoulders relaxed, hand low to guide around obstacles without touching others unnecessarily. If you open a menu, open it fully and hold it steady rather than flipping pages nervously. Your body is telling a story. You notice details. You choose deliberately. You aren't overwhelmed. Honor the art of the micro-lean. The micro-lean is a 2-frame film. Frame 1, you're neutral. Frame 2, you lean in a few degrees to receive something important, then you return to neutral. If you stay leaned in, you look hungry. If you never lean in, you look indifferent. The oscillation, receive, return, creates a rhythm of attention she will feel and trust. Let your laughter be contained. Out-of-control laughter can look like you're trying to prove you're fun. A low, warm laugh that rises and settles without flailing hands or slapping thighs reads as self-command and genuine joy. Joy without control reads like a boy. Joy with control reads like a man. Practice the long exhale when energy spikes between you. The long exhale is your safety valve. As attraction rises, bodies speed up. You will counter with a slow out-breath through the nose or parted lips, barely audible. Your shoulders drop a millimeter. Your eyelids soften. That release communicates that you can hold heat without overheating. Nothing is more attractive than controlled warmth. Refuse the itch to perform. Performance is a strategy for being chosen. Presence is a decision to choose yourself. When the urge to show off, over-gesture, over-smile, or over-occupy space rises, notice it without acting. Let it pass like a wave. The discipline of non-performing is the strongest seduction you possess. It invites her to step into you, not to be pulled by you. Remember that everything nonverbal is contextual and responsive. She has a nervous system too. If she's tense, you soften. If she's overwhelmed, you slow. If she's cold, you warm gradually. If she's warm, you reflect more. This is not chameleon behavior. It's leadership through attunement. You're not changing your core. You're adjusting the tempo to make connection effortless. Attraction thrives on the interplay of certainty and play. Your body supplies certainty through structure: spine, breath, base, stillness. It supplies play through micro-smiles, eyebrow flashes, angle shifts, and rhythm. Too much certainty without play is rigid. Too much play without certainty is flimsy. Calibrate both. Build the habit of end-focused attention. When she finishes a sentence, don't jump in on the last syllable. Wait through the silent punctuation at the end. Hold a beat, then respond if you choose. That beat is respect and power. It makes her feel heard, and it makes your response feel chosen. Even if you aren't speaking now, that beat shapes your nod, your gaze, your breath. You're telling her, "I move when I decide." Train your body alone before you expect it to lead around others. Practice in mirrors, doorways, grocery lines, elevators. Rehearse the half-second pause. Rehearse the 3-beat eye contact. Rehearse the 45-degree angle. Rehearse soft eyes with steady gaze. Rehearse the micro-freeze when an impulse hits. Rehearse the panther stride. Without repetition, you fall back to fidget and rush. Guard against the two great betrayals: collapse and puff. Collapse is rounded shoulders, downcast eyes, feet squeezed together, hands fidgeting, a plea to not be seen. Puff is chest thrust, chin high, movements too big, a plea to be admired. Both are hunger. True presence is quiet appetite for life, not for approval. Your body shows the difference immediately. As you embody this language, you'll notice something unusual. Women start offering you opportunities to lead without you asking. She will open a conversational window with her eyes. She will align her shoulder. She will drift into your space, then wait. Your only job is to accept the invitations you want and let go of those you don't, without drama. A slow nod, a patient turn, a measured step. That's it. If this is hitting something inside you, drop your thoughts below. I read every single one. Now internalize this sequence you can carry into any interaction without a word. Settle, align, slow, see, angle, hold, release. Settle your weight into your hips. Align your spine and open your chest. Slow your breath and your blink rate. See her, not as an object, but as a person whose signals you can read. Angle your torso 45 degrees to reduce pressure and invite pursuit. Hold eye contact for a beat longer than comfortable. Release first with a micro-smile that belongs to you. Repeat the cycle, stepping leadership forward by half steps and never exceeding the speed of trust. If you decide to escalate attention, do it with micro-rituals. Let your hand rest on the back of a chair before you sit. Wait a breath. Sit smoothly. When standing with her, shift weight to your back foot. Invite her with a small palm-up arc to your side, no words needed, and begin walking slowly. When standing at a counter or bar, place your phone completely away, turn your body a few degrees, and allow your eyes to return to her rather than scanning the room. These rituals are silent contracts. They say, "I'm here, I choose this, and I'm not in a rush." Make use of deliberate absence. Sometimes the strongest signal you send is your willingness to step away without anxiety. If you need to move across the room, don't excuse yourself with over-explanation. Establish eye contact, give a soft smile, slow nod, then go. When you return, re-establish with the same sequence. Your body teaches that connection doesn't equal clinging. Clinging kills attraction. Spaciousness feeds it. Your face, in quiet moments, should invite rather than demand. Demanding eyes force a reaction. Inviting eyes allow a choice. Practice letting the muscles around your eyes soften while the focus stays precise. If you feel your stare harden, spread your focus to include her hairline, her shoulders, the space around her, then return to her eyes. This expands your awareness and lowers pressure. She feels seen, not scanned. Do not underestimate the power of how you receive compliments and attention. If she holds your gaze, let the corner of your mouth lift and breathe out lightly through your nose. If she compliments something about your appearance, let it land with a slow nod and a quiet if you choose to speak later, but your body should carry the acceptance first. Deflecting with frantic energy or dismissive shrugs teaches her that your frame is fragile. Receiving with calm teaches her you're comfortable being valued. If you know a brother who needs to hear this, who keeps losing women before he says a word, send it to him today. Don't keep it to yourself. The world doesn't need more lines. It needs more men who can create a field of safety and desire without a script. As this way of moving becomes natural, your interactions change shape. People make more room for you without realizing it. Women sustain eye contact longer and test you less harshly because your body already passed the exam. Your nights become lighter because you aren't trying so hard. You will notice you can do less and get more. Fewer gestures, bigger impact, fewer movements, stronger memory, fewer steps, clearer leadership. That's the economy of presence. It's not mystical. It's trainable. You might wonder how this makes her fall for you. Falling isn't a single event. It's the accumulation of 1,000 micro-impressions that tell her nervous system, this man is grounded, this man notices, this man chooses, this man can lead without taking, this man is calm under heat. Your body language, mastered and consistent, writes that message on every page of the interaction. She doesn't fall because you demand it. She falls because the safest, most exciting place in the room is the field you carry around you. Let's end where we began, with gravity. Drop back into yourself right now. Sit or stand with intention. Breathe low. Lengthen your spine. Soften your eyes. Slow your blink. Still your hands. Angle your torso. Hold the gaze. Release first with a smile you own. Walk with the panther stride. Lead by half steps. Reward warmth. Reroute pressure. Use silence as punctuation. Use stillness as power. Let your body say what your words haven't earned yet. Carry this with you. The next time you enter a room, let the doorway remind you. The next time your eyes meet hers, let the 3-beat rhythm write your first sentence. The next time energy spikes, let your long exhale keep you sovereign. And when it's time to go, leave the last page intentional so the story keeps reading itself in her mind. If what you just absorbed shifted something real inside you, stay with me. Put these into the world today. Practice in small, ordinary moments until they're yours. When you're ready for the next layer, we'll build it together. And if a line here snapped you awake, tell me which one. I read every single word you send because this isn't theory to me. It's a standard. Be the man whose presence makes words optional. That's how you make her fall, with nothing but the language your body has finally learned to speak.